What it do, family? It's your boy, the minister, the reverend, the chaplain, your favorite Virgo, Jay Whitfield Inspires, coming back at you once again with another video. So look, today we're gonna talk about it. Love is Blind with Clay, the Virgo, and AD, the Scorpio. Yes, but look, before we get into that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and join the membership for the channel. All that good stuff. If you need to talk to me about your personal situation, you already know what to do. Hit the link in the description and choose a time that works for you. All right, let's get into it. So look, if you haven't seen this show on Netflix called Love is Blind, and you want to look at it, I'm letting you know right now, there are going to be spoilers. They're going to be spoilers. So if you don't want to hear no spoilers, you don't want to know what happened, don't watch this video. There will be spoilers. I usually don't watch videos like this, like Love is Blind, stuff like that. I don't really care for it. But people talking about it, people put me on, so I thought it was interesting. And so they went through a whole season and they had a reunion and all that good stuff. But I want to talk about, of course, Virgo men and their behavior when it comes to love. And if you want to know a lot about how Virgo men feel and act and get some answers, watch Love is Blind season 6 with Clay and AD. Clay, black guy, AD, black chick. And they get together. So I think the premise of the show is that they be in this cubicle, they can't see each other. They in this cubicle and they get to talk to each other they can hear each other talk, for like 6 weeks or something like that. I don't know how long. But anyway, the goal is for them to get to know each other before they see each other. That's why they say love is blind. And so by the time they see each other, they done fell in love or whatever the case may be, and then they have to decide at the altar if they're gonna marry each other or not. So they do a whole dress up like a wedding and invite family. And at the point of I do, they either gotta say I do or I don't. So that's the premise of the show. I thought it was interesting, cause Clay and AD, they both seem to be getting a lot of attention. And a lot of people have been talking about Clay, why he did this, why he did that. So a little bit of background about Clay, who is a Virgo, male Virgo man, from what I understand from watching some of the show, he grew up in a 2-parent household, very suave dude. Dad was very involved in his life. His mom was very involved in his life. However, he had some trauma from seeing his dad cheat on his mom, which caused him, Clay, to have some ill feelings about marriage, commitment, and relationship. It made himself, Clay that is, feel like he can't be as committed as he want to be, because what is commitment really? If my dad and my mom were so committed and he cheated on my mom, then what am I gonna do? So that's kind of his premise. And so throughout him dating AD, he was kind of telling her that he don't know if he can really be married because he has all these issues from his childhood. Can he be faithful? And I think he said he didn't say he was a cheater and this and that, but he had questions. AD, the lady, she's a Scorpio. From my understanding, y'all correct me where I'm wrong, because I didn't follow the whole show. But I think she grew up in a single parent household, raised by her mother, beautiful dark-skinned lady, all that good stuff. She ready to love. She ready to get into it. She been looking for this all her life. And finally, she got a chance. She met somebody amazing. Now Clay, he's a handsome brother, smooth brother, well-dressed like Virgos are, well-dressed, well-groomed, very well-spoken. He stands upright. He's a stand-up guy. And he say what's on his mind. He say what he feels, And so leading up to this big wedding day, he telling her that he love her. He telling her that he feel this way about her. All the beautiful things. Me personally, I believe him, But now she followed along. She getting her wedding dress. She invited her family. She crying like, oh, this is gonna be the best day ever. I've been waiting on this for so long. I can't believe this day is finally here. This is her dream. Every woman's dream from a little girl to be married on national TV. So they get to the altar. Again, spoiler. They get to the altar. After all this big stuff, inviting family, talking to family, meeting family, and doing all this big, beautiful stuff like you would when you get married and engaged. You know, the preacher asks her, you know, do she take him to be her husband and this and that? She says, I do. When it comes for his time, you know, he hesitates because everybody waiting to see what he's gonna say. Now, based on what he was doing, you would have thought that he was gonna say, I do, because he was doing everything that you would do. You know, so like, there's no reason in the world this man gonna say no. But what he does, he end up saying no. Basically, end up saying he couldn't do it. Shocked the world. You know, it shocked me. She ended up crying. The family was there, everybody looking at him. But his reasoning was that he felt like he wasn't ready. You know, I know you would say, why do all that? You felt like you wasn't ready. You know, I get it. That's the premise of the show. But he said he was trying to make himself ready. He said he does love this woman. He do want to be with her. He think all these good things about her are true from what he said. But he started to do a self-evaluation when he said when she was coming down the aisle. He started to do a self-evaluation standing up there. And when the preacher started to ask him about stuff, he started to think about, could he really do this? Is he really in the right place to love this woman, to give her everything that she deserves, to give her everything that she needs? And he said he had to be honest with himself and say no. He said he wasn't ready. He wasn't prepared to do that, you know? And she was bawling, crying, you know? And everybody left the church and this and that. It was a big thing. You know, well, I'm kind of just breaking it down because a lot of Virgos do that. Well, I ain't gonna say they do that, but in essence, you know, being at the place, you know you got a good woman by your side, you know you have a lovely woman, but on the inside, you fighting yourself. You trying to make yourself ready for this woman who's amazing. But at the end of the day, you get to the point, you just realize you can't do it, you know, but you've been saying you could, and it confuses a lot of people. But I was just kind of breaking it down because I understand a lot of Virgos do that. They have to be 100% certain within themselves to make that leap, because if they make that leap and they're not prepared, it's all gonna crash. And he was battling with himself. Now, a lot of people's upset with it because people's like, yo, you let this girl on, he did this. I don't think he let her on. Me personally, now I won't say it was right. I do feel like he was wrong by the way he did it. You know, he should have handled it better. But he did it the way he did it, you know. And even after the wedding, she came into the room to where he was at, where he was at. Is it was at or where he were at? I don't know. Y'all know my grammar be messed up sometimes. And he let her express herself. She was crying. I can't believe you did this, da da da. And I saw him getting defensive. Now Virgos, they be real in the pocket. They keep their composure. But as he began to explain himself to her, he did apologize over and over. But as he began to explain himself to her, she kind of cut him off a little bit and was just kind of going at him a little bit, rightfully so. But he started to get defensive. He started to bulk up a little bit. Not like that, but he started to defend himself and started to really say, well, you know, I kind of told you I couldn't, and I'm telling you now what's going on in my life. I'm telling you. And he started to get a little animated. And I saw that. I see that Virgos do that. And that's how I know he was genuine. Now, what he did wasn't right, because he admitted he handled it the wrong way. But he was genuine in what he was doing. You know, he was genuine in what he was doing. I could tell by the way he was bulking up and the way he was kind of flaring up a little bit, defending himself, because Virgos do that. In a perfect world, Virgos expect to tell you something and you just get it and understand. That can go good and bad, because sometimes that lacks compassion. And I think in that moment, he lacked the compassion for what she was going through. Although I believe what he's saying was right, he lacked the compassion in telling her. But at the same time, did he really? Because he told her what he was feeling. But because she was in her emotion, and they both were, she was kind of coming at him a little bit. And she was kind of like saying stuff like, coming at his character almost, like, you this and you that. Why would you do this and why you do that? And I think that is what made him like, wait a minute, now, whoa now. All right, I said I was sorry. I know I'm wrong, but let's not go there, because I'm not trying to down you. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I understand you're hurting pain. You know, and I'm sorry that this happened, but you don't have to attack my character because everything I said to you is true. You know, as a man, I'm not prepared to give you what you deserve. I want to be. I'm going to work. I'm going to work on me. I'm going to make sure I get right. But in these 6-7 weeks or however long it was, it's not enough time for me to have done this work to be prepared for you, but based off what I've seen. And that's another thing. With Virgos and men in general, you have to make sure that whatever in their past, that they're over. Because past trauma is real, past drama is real. And unfortunately, like I said many times on this channel, sometimes a man, not even a Virgo man, but sometimes a man doesn't know his full trauma until he starts to date a woman. I know that's messed up, but this is what I mean. Because a lot of people don't do the work on themselves. They think they are good. And so women, because they are nurturers, when they come into your life, they shine a light on the dark places of your life. You know what I'm saying? So they shine a light on the dark places that you've been hiding from. And you don't see those dark places until you get with a good woman. And she starts to show you like, whoa. You start to be nervous because you thought as a man that you was good. You walk around like, I'm good, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's me. You know, but she started to shine those dark, not in a bad way. Her presence just shine a light on those dark places. And now you start to realize like, whoa, maybe I'm not good. Or I got this to work on, I got that to work on. I'm not prepared. Look at what she needs. Look at what she deserves. I'm not that. It happens. And before y'all get emotional and get bad, listen to what I'm saying. You know, and I know there are other ways he could have done this, but I'm just trying to give you an insight of what a lot of men go through. Because a lot of broken men out here, and sometimes they don't know they're broken. They got an inkling, but they think they are all right. But I'm trying to tell you, as a man, when you get with a woman's heart, her love and her mind, and her emotions and her nurturing spirit, it just shines. It shines through and it shows you those dark places, the unhealed places. And as a man, sometimes you don't know how to deal with that. It's a scary feeling. I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. Before you say, oh, he this and he that, just understand what I'm saying. Because women are more emotional, men are more logical. Women can handle emotions generally better than men. Women can understand emotions better than men. They know what to do with them. Men don't know what to do with emotions. That's the difference between men and women. That's why women will say, well, how can you say that and then do that? You know, because women's like, well, if I say this, I feel it, that's what I'm doing. You know, men typically don't understand emotions, or it take them a minute to digest emotions and see what they want to do with them, because we so focused on the logical, the analytical, we so tunnel vision. But emotions make you slow down. Emotions make you really feel. So a lot of times when a woman comes into a man's life and she shines that light on the dark places, he does start to shrivel up. Not all men, but sometimes if they're not healed, this is what happens. Because stuff he hadn't dealt with or stuff he thought about, and then he realized like, man, in order to really properly be a man for this woman, I got a lot of work to do. And it's one thing to say, you know, you got a lot of work to do and you have been doing it, but it's another thing to get to the threshold and then see the work you got to do. And now it's kind of thrown on you. And I believe that's what he saw when they went to that altar. He started to really think, like, man, like, can I really do this? He started to really think about because his father and mother were there. He started to think about how his father cheated on his mother, you know, and what that did. And he was from my understanding, he was with his father when his father was cheating. Like his father would take him with him. I don't know if he's seen his father doing it, but you know, he was aware. They'll say, okay, him and his dad might be going to the store or something, but really he going to cheat. So he said he witnessed this stuff and it made him question, what is manhood? What is marriage? What is commitment? Am I that man? Do I do that? You know, he hadn't answered those questions within himself, you know, and he said stuff like he don't know if he's a cheater or not. And I think what should have happened is because he had those questions already, he should have been like, look, I can't date you. I want to date you, but I'm not ready. But I think he tried to mask it. I think he tried to say, you know what, I'm good. Even though I got these questions, I'm good. Because he liked her, you know, he still liked the girl. She's still a beautiful woman, this and that. He just went on, but he went on under self-pressure. and pressure from her, and pressure to be right. Because look, being a man and husband in a marriage, it's a lot of responsibility. Just like being a wife and stuff is a lot of responsibility. But the man is genuinely seen as the leader, the protector, the provider. You know, so you have a task on your hand. You know, you have to be right. If you're not right as a man, the house is gonna crumble. It's on you. That's a lot of pressure for a man. And a lot of, especially Virgos, you can't step into that arena leading the charge if you're not ready to lead the charge, because you're gonna fold. Because yeah, women think about all the good times, the happy times, the marriage and love, and that's cool, that's great. But there are also hard times. And as a man, you have to cover a woman. You are covering, that's what it is. You the covering for the children, you the covering. You the first line of defense for everything. You know, if you fail, it fails, it falls. It's on you. No matter if you can say, yeah, she your wife, she's supposed to help you. Yeah, she's supposed to help you. But ultimately, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, it's on you. You the frontline battle, baby. And so I think he was thinking of that. He was just like, oh man. I think he just got nervous and realized like, I'm not ready. And he told her that. So that's why he was kind of getting mad after the wedding, after they were talking, because he was trying to defend his character. Because she was kind of coming at him. She was coming at him. He was like, look, all right, look, I told you, I said that I'm not ready as a man. I'm not. He's like, how you expect me to love you right and I'm not right? How you expect me to be right for you and I'm just not right on the inside? You know, I'm not trying to come down on you, but as a man, I gotta be honest and tell you that. I gotta be real and tell you that, rather than knowing I'm effed up and going with you and having it fall, and then later on you say, well, you knew you was messed up. Why you continue? You know, he's like, I respect you enough to man up and say, okay, I was wrong in doing this, but I gotta fix this. I gotta fix me. You know, and these are tough things. I'm not saying he 100% right. I'm not saying he 100% wrong. I'm just kind of breaking it down. And then the reunion came out. The reunion, you know how they do a little reunion of all the cast members and stuff like that. And I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched AD and Clay's part. Yeah. And so during the reunion, you got a chance to see them. They were sitting together, and it was emotional. He had time. It's another thing. Virgos need time. Time is very great for Virgos. He had time to sit back and reflect. And it was the host was asking the question like, hey, Clay, how you feel about that day? What happened during that day? He said, look, because that was like a year ago between the show and the reunion, from my understanding. He like, look, I had a lot of time to reflect. I worked on areas. He said, I hated seeing me on that altar being a broken man like that. You know, he said, but he said, I wasn't ready. I wasn't. And I hated to do that to her. And I know it hurt her, and I apologize 1,000 times, you know, and this and that. But he's like, look, I've been in therapy since then. I've been doing the work. I've been getting healing. I've been talking to my parents. I've been doing what needs to be done. He said, I do feel like I'm ready now. I do feel like I can do it now. But he said, during that time where you were talking about 6 weeks and then marriage, and I got all this trauma and drama in me, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't successfully do that to her and for myself. And AD, she got some things off her chest. She cried a little bit, and he apologized to her. You know, they asked him, "Would you be up to dating her? You know, trying again?" He said, "Absolutely." They asked AD, "Would you be up to dating Clay?" She said no comment. But you can see that she still loved the dude, but she just hurt. You know, she afraid, rightfully so. Like, would this happen again? You know, but he cried. He cried during the reunion, explaining his struggles as a man, his struggles in trying to be right and trying to love right. He said, because he's a bit of I don't know if he played sports or music or something like that, but he was kind of a popular dude. So he was explaining how he went from like a semi rock star life to now committed relationship to now slowing down. He said that's a tough transition. He said nobody ever taught me how to do that. There's not enough people teaching men how to go from lover boy and player boy to commitment, to settling down. If you don't know as a man, it's tough. And people say, oh, that's an excuse. It's not an excuse. Listen to men when they talk, right? Don't just write them off. That's another thing that make men mad. Don't just write them off when they're trying to explain themselves. They may be 1,000% wrong, but let them explain themselves. So in explanation, they are being heard. Because what a lot of people do, as soon as a man starts explaining himself, oh, you just a dog, you just this and you just that. Can I explain myself or not? You know, can I explain myself or not? And so he cried a little bit. He was like, look, nobody ever taught me that. He said, look at my father. I see him. He's a strong man. He's an upstanding man. They fixed their relationship, you know, but I don't know how to go from, I didn't know how to go from this to that, you know, but he said, since that time, I've been doing the work. I've been talking to men who are successfully married. I've been actively and constantly working on it, you know, and there was another black man there who was in a successful relationship. And he's like, look, I admire your relationship because you did it right. You know, he said, I look at you as that person, like as a model, you know, stuff like that, you know, and I think they probably gonna get back together because I can tell he really loved that woman, but he wasn't ready. And that just kind of an example of how a lot of Virgos are, man. They conflicted in their love. It's hard for Virgos to love. It's hard for them to fall in love. It's hard for them to commit because they have all this trauma. They have all this stuff in them. Their hearts are in the right place, but they go back and forth in their minds, back and forth in their spirits, back and forth in their hearts. Y'all hear me say this all the time. That's a perfect example of what I talk about, why it takes Virgos so long to love somebody. And a lot of women are like, yo, I'm with this dude. I mean, I'm in love with this dude. Why would he say no? Why would he turn his back? Why would he go the other way? He's talking about he loved me. He's talking about he doing this. He's talking about doing that. And it's true. But Virgos have to be ready. They're perfectionists. It has to be right. They have to get over whatever that thing is that's hanging them up. They have to get over that. Because they will not be able to love, even if they want to. And they try to force themselves to love, and they can't. But they want to, and they fight. Virgos go through a lot of self-fighting within themselves. I'm trying to tell you, it's not easy being a Virgo man. You know, it's tough. It's very, very tough. But the brother is a smooth brother. You know, I think his heart is in the right place. Some people say he never liked her. I disagree. I think he did like her, you know. I think what a lot of men do in general, they see a woman, a beautiful woman, and I know it's kind of contradictory what I'm saying. They see a beautiful woman, and because that woman is so nice, you know, they try to overcome their personal struggles, but they do it in the wrong way to date this woman, or they might try to mask their own trauma. They might try to mask what they feel and say, you know what, I'm ready, I can do it. And in reality, they can't. And over time, because they didn't do the work properly, it started to shape. It started to rip apart at the seams, you know? And that's why it's important for everybody, for men in general, to do the work before you step with a woman. It's very important because you're gonna get with that woman, she's gonna start loving you, and then all your trauma gonna come out. And it's gonna be hard to love. And that's why it's hard to love. For some men, it's hard for them to love you properly because they see you, they like you, but now they dealing with trauma that they ignored for years. And I don't know if women understand this or not, but I'm gonna say it again. If a man hasn't done the work, it's so difficult for him to love you properly because he's thinking about the man stuff he gotta do, you know? And yes, you're there to help him, but men kind of wanna do it themselves sometimes. But there's certain things a man has to do on his own to be ready. And he recognized that at the last minute. He said that. But I encourage y'all to go watch that show, man. If you want to really see what a Virgo be going through. And there's a couple more Virgos on that show. It is. Or there are, you know. And like I said, Clay, AD, she's a Scorpio. Virgos and Scorpio are actually a good match, you know. But yeah, so y'all go check it out. All that good stuff. Support this channel, join the membership, like, share, and subscribe. And if you need to talk to me, you know, hit the description link in the description and all that good stuff. But look, pray for Virgos, man, because I feel them. We be going through it. Yes, indeed.